You talking about sports with your pals the other day? Welcome to another edition of the Moss Sports Podcast. I'm joined by Spencer Griffin, Mauricio Beltran Hernandez, who has an Emmy. We've been off for a couple of weeks. Spencer traveled out of town. I traveled out of town. I wouldn't have had service coming back, so if there had been no way we could have recorded this.
Yeah, well, I was 10 and a half hours each way with a 2-year-old, so I don't think y'all would have wanted to hear that.
But if I'm being completely honest, it seems like sports kind of took a back seat this week. Really, the last couple of weeks with everything going on around the country.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we can go ahead and get into the sports talk.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are going to start on Formula One and the race in Monaco today.
Actually, it was the Indy 500.
Well, no, there's two, because there was the Indy 500 and there was the Monaco, which I actually did watch the Monaco. We don't have to talk about it, but I was just really excited that I finally watched a Formula One race.
I watched a little bit of the Indy 500, and the thing that kept my attention most was the score, like the leaderboard.
Yeah,
and I was just
that's a different. I think that's a different category technically than Formula One. I don't know, different companies. Or
IndyCar, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. I'm still working on figuring all that out.
Yeah,
I can't ever get into any form of racing because I always connected back to NASCAR.
But see, that's the reason I enjoyed watching Formula One better, is because NASCAR is just around and around in a circle, right? At least there are laps in Formula One, but at least it's
a little different,
and like the scenery, because they race in some really cool places. Like the Monaco place was pretty cool to see them race around some yachts and stuff.
Yeah, you know what? If they had it like maybe like a camera inside the car, like in those Formula One cars or something like that, but like. You know how on ESPN when you watch Monday Night Football they have like different channels and like you can watch it from different angles. Yeah. So like maybe you can tune into a channel and it's like you're just watching the race from his car.
Oh, I'm sure if you're a dedicated fan you could buy a subscription to get that, but
something like that, not
probably that intense.
I don't know. I just think about NASCAR all the time and I'm like,
you love NASCAR. Let's talk about some NBA basketball though.
Yeah, so the Warriors advanced to their sixth NBA final since 2015 after beating the Mavericks 4-1. Warriors had 4 players score 16.4 points per game or better, and Gary Payton II could be coming back from his fractured elbow. So I guess we'll get into a little bit more. Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals is tonight, so by the time this comes out, we will know who the Warriors play, whether that's the Heat or the Celtics, and we'll get into that game. I guess those games here in a second. But what do you guys think of the Warriors in their advancing?
It was just a matter of time, before they came back. It's like they had those 2 bad years. I guess those 2 years they missed out on one. I think one of those years they did make the playoffs, and the other one they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I want to say Clay was hurt. One or both. I don't know, and then Curry one or both as well.
So I think if it wasn't for that, they would have, probably gone all the straight years. Just
easily. It ended up working out really well for them that they kind of had, I don't want to say rest or anything like that, but they had those 2 down years where they were able to acquire some young talent. Andy was saying, Gary Payton II and Jordan Poole, Moses Moody, and then they were able to sign Andrew Wiggins. They really, they put together a really good squad in those 2 down years, which is kind of scary. And I know a lot of people love to hate the Warriors, but I can't help but enjoy watching the way they play. Just the constant up and down, moving the ball, moving without the ball. It's just a really sexy game that they play, and I like watching it, even though it does lead to some high turnover games sometimes. And I understand that people want to hate on Draymond, which definitely understandable, but they're very fun to watch as an objective viewer. So. I don't mind watching them play in the finals.
they're one of the few really good teams that you don't mind seeing them in the finals or cheering for them. It's like it's a polar opposite of like the Patriots. It's one of those Patriots are a really good team, but you hated them.
Exactly.
And then for it, I guess just the way they carry themselves, I don't even mind the Warriors like winning. Although they could win the next 10 years in a row, and I'll be like, it's all right.
Yeah, and you got Steve Kerr giving Arkansas native Moses Moody some minutes over Damian Lee, so he's been doing really good for them lately.
He's like, you drop your game level, and I'm sending you to Memphis.
What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, I think this was kind of what I was getting at a few weeks ago. Whenever Klay Thompson was getting healthy, Draymond was coming back. Like this Warriors team was going to be pretty solid, something to be a force. And now, since those guys are healthy, they have Jordan Poole. Andrew Wiggins is coming on. I saw something the other day where some guy, it was one of those bad sports takes from Twitter, and it was like,
oh yeah,
Andrew Wiggins, now that the Warriors signed Andrew Wiggins, they're never going to be anything ever again, but Wiggins has emerged to be an all-star this year. He's been a solid player.
I think that was Nick Wright, and he's an idiot. So.
Yeah, but I mean, like you guys said, I agree. Like the Warriors being good and winning all these finals, like I have no problem with. Usually I get very fatigued by teams that win all the time. Like Mauricio said, the Patriots are one that I just couldn't stand for a while. And, it just gets to be frustrating seeing the same team over and over again. But I think in the Warriors case, at least personally to me, is that they've built through the draft. They drafted Curry, they drafted Thompson, they drafted Draymond. All these other guys they've gotten, it's not going out and buying the talent, which I know is
a good point.
Is reasonable at times, but with the Warriors, they've done it to where I appreciate it more than some of these other teams that just go out and do their thing.
Well, and they don't even have James Wiseman this whole time too.
Yeah.
And they play just such a good team basketball. I think it's good for the sport, other than Curry making these little kids in AAU ball shoot from half court, but them passing the ball around so much, I think it's just way more fun to watch rather than a guy, ISOing up every half court set and driving in uncontrollably trying to draw a foul in the paint. It's just, we see that a lot. And I'm talking mainly like you see it with the 76ers, sometimes with the Celtics and Jason Tatum. It's just, this is a much more fun game to watch. And I personally think that they're not going to have any issue with either team coming out of the East. I think those two teams are really beating each other up right now. A lot of injuries between them. It's been a really weird series, and we'll get into it. I just don't see the Warriors having any trouble with that. And you surprised me with the Gary Payton II coming back. I didn't realize he even had a chance.
Yeah, I don't remember where I saw it. It may have been Twitter, but I did see that where he could have a chance of coming back in the finals.
That's huge for their defense.
Yeah. Expected to return. Yep.
Is it like game one or?
Hold on.
We don't have to read it all now, but.
Yeah, I'll just try and skim it real quick.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Well, in the meantime, I guess we can talk a little bit about the other series if you want to move on to it.
Is that game 7 for Boston? Is that in Miami or is that still in Boston?
Miami.
It says Peyton could return as early as game 1.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Mauricio, you mentioned game 7 coming up tonight for us. Of course, like Andy said, the podcast will come out before then, so we'll know. But yeah, it's been a weird series, and I originally had put that I think the Celtics are definitely going to take this series, but man, I have no idea anymore. I can't. The entire Eastern Conference, I feel like, has been super wacky this postseason, and I mean the Western's been a little more cut and dry. You can kind of tell each series what's going on, but the East, who even knows? I have no idea. Who do you guys got? Because I've got nobody.
I want to say Boston because I had a couple of weeks back when we had done this, I had said Boston Warriors for the finals, so I'll stick with Boston.
Did you say that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
I think he did.
That's really impressive. Nostradamus strikes again.
And I had predicted the collapse of the Phoenix Sun.
Hey, easy now.
See, I wasn't going to mention anything.
I knew he wasn't going to bring it up, but
It's a collapse.
We can bring it up. I'm glad that it happened while I was on vacation, so I wasn't able to dwell on it, and we didn't have to talk about it. Everybody's forgotten.
Would it be a systematic failure, a lack of professionalism?
Oh my God!
I'm going out and partying too much.
Don't hit him. No, don't.
And then imagine this: you collapse, Game 7, you lose that bad, and then the team that beat you goes and gets their ass kicked in the next series. You know,
it happens. It's best. I mean, that's what's so great about the game.
The Mavericks guy was drinking beers before the game and still lost.
Wait, what? Who was?
Luka?
Yeah, I remember they had the picture.
You're lying.
Remember that was the controversy.
Well, somewhere said that those two pictures were taken at different times.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
I don't want to get beat by a drunk guy, so
he was like he was so confident he could drink before the Phoenix.
As much of a fan as I am of the Phoenix Suns, it's stuff like this that's good for the game, though, because Phoenix Suns had the best record all season, and then it's an upset. I mean, what more can you ask for in terms of parity?
We'll talk about that in another sport here in a second.
So, I mean, yeah, it sucks as a fan, but if you're a fan of the NBA, you kind of got to love it. I mean,
that's what Italy said right before they collapsed during World War II.
Oh my gosh.
History lesson. Jeez, always something.
See, there was plenty of things I could have sent to you, Spencer, but I did not.
I appreciate it because I'm sure Mauricio probably had them ready to go, but I don't know what happened. So I guess he planned on going super hard today at me. That's not surprising as a Lakers fan, but
they'll be back next year.
I was sitting there like I would be mad if Spencer did that to me at this point, so I'm not going to send anything to him. There was the NBA paint. Like I was going to send this one to the group, but it said the Phoenix Buns and it had like a butt.
I think I would have laughed at that one. I think I would have laughed really hard.
I was tempted.
And I didn't send anything to you about the Cubs game either. So.
Oh yeah. No, it's fine.
Was just one regular season game.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Honestly, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into that, but
we can't do anything. We're not on the field. We're not on the court. What do you want us to do?
Yeah. But back to this Celtics Heat series. Who I have is kind of up in the air too. If you would have asked me before last night's game, I would have said the Celtics for sure because Jimmy Butler had a worst 2-game stretch of his career across games 4 and 5. Bam Adebayo has played awful this series. Really the whole postseason, I think. He's averaging below his regular stats.
Strange.
Yeah.
He's not going against any like super powerful center or anything like that.
Yeah, which someone has said he's just struggling against Robert Williams.
Yeah, I mean, well, Robert Williams is good defensively, but still, I think Bam would be better than that.
Yeah. Tyler Hero's been hurt, which I guess Marcus Smart's been hurt too, so that kind of.
Mm-hmm. And Robert Williams has been on and off.
But I don't know that either team could take down the Warriors either. Is the thing. Someone had said that Boston probably has the better team to do it.
I could see,
but I don't know that either one of them will take down Golden State.
I just don't think Boston's consistent enough, and obviously you see it where they're letting Jimmy Butler get 47 points on 16 of 29 shooting, and Jimmy is far from an offensive powerhouse in the league. So it's been super strange.
Which you mentioned, it's been a weird series, and it's been weird in the fact that when Boston wins, they blow out the Heat. But when the Heat win, it's a closer game. So it's been odd in that aspect.
And something I've noticed as well is Boston seems to shoot quite a bit more free throws. Throughout the entire series, it's 123 free throw attempts for the Heat and 177 for the Celtics, which is a pretty huge gap if you think about it. And I was watching Game 6, and it was 10 free throw attempts for Boston in the first quarter to Miami's 0. And I thought that was super weird too. And luckily for everybody, every fan of the NBA, for Game 7, we've got he who must not be named reffing the Boston.
Old Scott Foster. I'll name him.
Yeah. Oh, I won't. I don't want to say his name, but I will say.
People know by now.
Let me just plug this podcast I've been listening to called, and I don't know if you've heard of it or not, called Whistleblower. It's about the Tim Donaghy stuff.
I feel like you mentioned this before. Did you not?
Did I?
Maybe.
I think I mentioned that I found it. I hadn't listened
okay.
to it at that point, but I did start listening to it. It's really, really good, and it implicates Scott Foster in a lot of stuff too. Oh, I said his name.
That's okay. I already said it.
Scott Foster.
Oh, I forgot to mention. I got a new chair. So.
Oh, no squeak.
No squeak.
Oh yeah.
And it's I've been moving around lately. I'll try not to move around as much.
Can we give that other chair a Viking send off?
We can. It's in my garage. It's in a couple pieces because it broke.
Hey,
so
expect to be able to do this.
We're
coming for you, Beaver Fork.
Yep.
So Celtics versus Warriors. If the Celtics make it, I've got an interesting tidbit for you. So you would have the Top Gun Celtics versus the Kendrick Lamar Warriors. So last time Top Gun was released, the OG, the Celtics won the championship, and there's another one coming out this year. And then
it's
also
out.
is it out? Oh yeah,
it's out.
And every year Kendrick Lamar has released an album. The Warriors have won the title. So it's just could be an interesting matchup. And I was surprised to see that. I had no idea.
Which one's going to give them? No, we already discussed this.
Yeah.
Highway to the NBA Finals. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess we'll see if they choke, or as Mauricio would call it, a organizational collapse.
Systematic failure.
What's the trend for the Miami Heat?
I don't know that there is one.
Has Pitbull released an album?
There was some parallels between the 2012 Game 6 from LeBron.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What happened that 12 and 13 years that brought him? That brought him those two titles.
Something had to have happened.
Was it the 13 or the 12 year when they were about to lose that Game 7 against the Spurs?
Oh, that was tragic. I was so mad.
The Spurs had that game, and then it's basically like the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was in Costa Rica watching that game, and as a LeBron hater, I almost cried. I was like, Spurs just choked it away.
I was at my house in Arkansas, and I was disgusted.
Yeah, and then of course it's the highlight for like the next 5 years.
Yep. Ray Allen. Well, you guys probably don't hear too much about the NHL, but I figured I'd mention it because they're almost to the conference finals. So, unsurprisingly, the Tampa Bay Lightning moved on to the Eastern Conference Finals after winning the Stanley Cup the previous 2 seasons. They swept the Panthers, which the Panthers won the President's Cup, which I explained a couple weeks ago was the most points. The team that gathered the most points throughout the season. And
see, Mauricio, sometimes the best team loses.
Yeah. See, that's what I was gonna mention. The Tampa Bay just overpowered the Panthers. Andre Vasilevsky's just playing really good in net, and just the Lightning have been there before. The Panthers haven't, I guess.
I was just about to ask. Is it experience?
Probably so.
Yeah.
They were saying online that it was the Panthers partying too much.
Well, here he goes.
Dude, no, I was on an article. I was like
Mauricio's the most straight edge dude ever.
But you know, but if you know you're gonna be in the finals and stuff like that, like maybe hold back a bit.
Well, I mean, and we'll go back to the Suns. I heard that Chris Paul instituted like a team curfew for them, so it wasn't the party.
Yeah. Oh, he instituted, but are people really doing it?
Well, Devin Booker had to go and get his.
Who was stopping them from doing stuff in the bathroom of a gas station on the road?
Chris Paul.
Yeah.
He's posted up in the gas station.
Yep.
Why would a Phoenix Suns player go to a gas station on a road?
Because it's the only thing close by. They're like, they can be seen in public, or Chris Paul will get back to them.
I don't know if I should have asked that question because you could have went another way.
Oh yeah, he could have.
Never mind.
I was going to mention something, but I won't. We'll keep it relatively clean.
Well, We're going to have another Game 7 that is going to be decided before this podcast comes out in the Hurricanes and Rangers after the Hurricanes lost Game 6, which could have sent them to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Rangers won 5-2. Igor Shesterkin was pretty good, a .949 save percentage, something like that. Pretty ridiculous. So I did have in my notes that the Hurricanes are great on home ice and not so good away, which they played in New York last night. So
it'll be in Carolina.
It'll be in Carolina. So
nice.
You can probably count on a Carolina win.
So the winner of that they're gonna play the Avalanche, right? Would that be in the finals?
No,
the
that
winner,
series isn't over, is it?
The winner of the Hurricanes and Rangers are going to play the Lightning.
Oh, the Lightning. Okay. Oh, and then the Oilers Avalanche is the other one, right?
Yep.
Man, it seems like it's been going on forever.
Yeah. Well, they started like a week after the NBA playoffs or something like that. So
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, they've been going longer, no? They've been going to like Game 6 and 7 a lot.
The Avalanche swept their first series, and then the second round or the first round had a lot of Game 7s. Already running out of time.
It's all good. We had to catch up a little bit.
Yeah. So Mauricio mentioned the Avalanche beat the Blues in Game 6 on, was it last night? 2 nights ago?
Friday, yeah.
Friday, yeah. I watched the whole game. The Blues were outshot by a lot, but they were winning 2-1, and then the Avalanche tied it up in the third period and then won it with 5 seconds left off of a Darren Helm goal. That was not a fun game for me to watch. Which I will say, it was kind of cool being in St. Louis whenever the playoffs were going, or around St. Louis, I guess I should say. I was really wanting to go to a game.
Yeah, I was wondering if you would try to sneak away and
or go downtown. Go downtown and watch the game, no?
Yeah.
Well, the wedding was the same night as Game 3, which was the first game in St. Louis, and then I was going back the next day.
Did you have it up on your phone?
I tried for a little bit, or I at least
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but my phone was dead.
Mauricio's brother's wedding. I think I had the boxing I was watching.
Oh yeah, right. That was who was fighting that night?
Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, I think, maybe.
The first one.
I think so.
Man.
No, it couldn't have been. I think it was the second.
2018.
Oh right? Well.
Yeah.
It don't matter. But back to the hockey.
Yeah.
So McKinnon was killing it. He had a hat trick was it the final game or the game before that?
It wasn't the final game. And I don't think it was the game before.
I think it was the loss. Yeah.
I don't remember. I'll look it up real quick.
Nah, it is not that.
But yeah, he had a nasty goal in Game 5. It was the one where the Blues won. They were down 3-0 and then came back and won 5-4 in the third period.
I think that's the one he had a hat trick.
Yeah, that he had a goal in that game that was just filthy.
And then there was some other stuff you wanted to talk about. I didn't get around to looking at all of it. I kept seeing it in the highlights, but I'm interested to hear what you have to say about it.
You're talking about the Binnington and Kadri?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Jordan, so this is what I told you that whenever you asked me if the goals if the Blues goalie was out.
The goals Bluey, okay.
If the Blues goalie was out, and I said it's kind of a long story, but yes. And so Jordan Binnington was their goalie in 2019 when they won the Stanley Cup. And this year he lost his starting job to Ville Husso in January. And then Husso was kind of their starting goalie throughout the year. And then they fell behind to Minnesota in round 1. And then they went back to Binnington, and Binnington was just fantastic from the rest of the series. It was really good in games 1. And then I think he got hurt game 2 or 3, and it had to deal with a Blues defender. I forget who it was. Rosen, I think. And Rosen and Nazem Kadri, Avalanche player, were going for the puck, and it was close to the goal. And then they both kind of ran into Binnington. Binnington ended up with a sprained knee, and he got taken out for the rest of the series. And so a lot of Blues fans. People were upset at Kadri because he has a history of doing things and sending some racist stuff and just horrible stuff to the guy. And like, it's unfortunate people do that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just sports. You don't have to be idiots about it.
Yeah.
But
that's probably not the only racist thing we'll touch on too. We got MLB stuff happening if we want to talk about it.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
I kind of scrapped that because it's
Okay.
It's
We
been
don't have to.
it's like done and over with.
Okay.
I mean, we can. It doesn't matter. But
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, Kadri ended up having a hat trick the game after all those racist things came out.
Nice.
So, and the Avalanche won, so he kind of shut up the Blues fans for a little bit.
The perfect way to shut them up.
Yeah. And so, but anyway, that series is done, and they're going to be taking on the Oilers. The Battle of Alberta was was anticlimactic. The Oilers won in 5. Although I will say Game 5 had like a pretty crazy stretch of 4 goals scored in 2 minutes. So,
ooh.
Yeah, that wasn't not so great goaltending there. But Connor McDavid scored the game winner and the series clincher. So I have another Letterkenny reference, but I'll save it for something.
What are your thoughts, just to derail us just a little bit, what are your thoughts on Gail on that show?
A little strange, but
she's
kind of funny in a way.
Yeah.
But well, I guess we can get back into it. So heading to MLB right now, Trevor Story has been on fire. He signed with the Red Sox almost at the Reds. He signed with the Red Sox in the offseason. And I think he was struggling for a little bit, and then he just now has hit 7 home runs in 7 games, which I'm sure they played yesterday. That probably won't be the statistic going into Tuesday when this is released, but
good streak though.
Yeah, he has been playing really well, and so the Red Sox haven't been doing that great. So I'm sure that's a good story for them. I guess we'll move on if you guys don't have anything.
I mean, good on him, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, there's not really.
Yeah.
So this last week, the Cincinnati Reds killed the Cubs, which, it's whatever. They beat them 20-5, which was the most runs in a win since 1999. There's just some beef between Joey Votto and Rowan Wick throughout the series. I think the second time Wick was excited because the first time I think Wick hit Votto or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but then in this 20-5 game, Wick struck out Votto. It was like 13-5 or whatever at the time, and Wick was excited, but Votto, I guess, took exception to what Wick said, even though it wasn't directed to him, and Votto got upset, and so it's whatever. But
soft.
I'll talk about losses, even if they're that bad, because
I appreciate it. I
mean the Cubs are playing about where I expected them to this year, so
they're doing worse than I thought. I thought they had a better team than that. I guess not.
Yeah.
I think I was clouded by all the Suzuki news at the beginning of the season and how well he was doing. Is he still doing?
He's kind of fallen off, but
yeah,
I think that's just the league adjusting to him, and he's hurt right now. He had something slid into a base and messed up his finger somehow. So, the Cubs, I mean, they've been playing better as of late. So they're up 1-0 on the White Sox in the 9th inning right now. So we'll see see if they win.
Action.
Yep. But former Cardinal Carlos Martinez has been suspended 80 games for PEDs. He's a free agent, so I was kind of wondering if teams stayed away from him because of that possibility, even though we're almost 2 months into the season. So,
you don't know something crazy?
What's that?
Same trainer as DeAndre Hopkins.
Ooh.
Nah, I'm lying. That would be funny though.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, Carlos Martinez was one of the guys that I was like, I wouldn't mind the Cubs signing him if they were going to take a flyer on somebody, but
kind of still get him for half a season.
Yeah. I think he was kind of inconsistent anyway, or he was hurt that relegated him to the bullpen for a while. So
I got you. Well, maybe he needed those PEDs to get back on track.
maybe so. We're just flying through this baseball stuff because there's one in particular that I want to talk about.
Yeah, I know Mauricio is going to say that bring back steroids in baseball because it makes it more fun.
It was, if you think about it, before we knew what was happening, it was the golden time of baseball, you know?
You're not wrong.
It was the best of times, and then it became the worst of times.
Coming in with what is that book?
What's it called?
Tale of Two Cities or whatever?
Yeah. Tale of Two Cities.
Why am I acting like I can read? But like, you're not wrong though. Like, it was great times, especially like the McGuire Sosa home run battle. And Canseco. You had Bonds, Roger Clemens. Yeah, it was fantastic.
A-Rod.
Yeah, I don't bring him back.
There was before the season the contract for MLB's testing for steroids was up, and I was like, all right, this is when we're gonna get some. This is when home runs are gonna go back up to and whatnot. I was like, don't renew them, just let them.
Yeah,
let them do their thing.
They want to see more offense.
Yeah. So, on a little bit more serious, well, I guess it's not a little bit more, it's a lot more serious note. The Rays and Yankees took to Twitter the other night. Instead of game coverage, they tweeted about gun violence, which I thought was nice to do, especially with what happened in Buffalo a few years ago, and then a few days ago, like 10 days ago, and then the events in Uvalde. So
that's right over by Mauricio. Have you been having to cover that stuff?
Obviously, they almost sent me to Uvalde.
I was wondering,
Yeah, I almost got sent, but then the whole NRA stuff was gonna go down here, so they needed to keep some people in town just to cover that because of the protests and stuff. But yeah, almost got sent over there too. But you know, it's just been like that. Yeah, dude, it gets intense. Sometimes I don't think about it stuff like when I do stuff like for news.
Yeah.
But then once I sit back and think about it, I'm like, man, like there's a lot of stuff that I've seen, I've covered, I've gone to.
Yeah.
And I don't really think about it at that moment, but then like when something else happens and I'm sitting here and I think about it, I'm like, man, that's a lot of stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's one thing to like say that you can take your emotions out of doing your job, but I mean, we're all human, so it gets to us at some point. And I feel like with you, like I feel like there's been a lot of stuff going on around the Houston area within the last year or two. Yeah, especially, dude. It's just been insane.
It seems like these 3 years I've been here, it's just been like one thing after another. It just keeps like when I first got here, and then around my second year, the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then all these other like
you had the
historical events, you know. Yeah. It just like, because when I was in Arkansas, I was like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
Here and there, you know.
You would have slow news days.
Yeah, and then here, once I got here, like these 3 years, it's just been like
Jeez.
100 miles per hour. Every other week, something happens, you know. Yeah.
We live in a crazy country.
Crazy times.
I thought living in Mexico was crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know that I need to be saying this, but I just think it's kind of crazy that they're going to still hold an NRA convention after what's happened.
Well, not only that, and we don't want to get too political here, but not only that is they're not allowing like firearms and stuff in the NRA convention. How tone deaf and hypocritical is just so bad.
Well, and see, never mind.
We're kind of getting into it. Yeah.
Well, a lot of the people that were like vendors and stuff that were there at the show, because obviously a lot of people canceled, right? Like musicians and other people that had booths and stuff. Because they were like, it just happened. But then like the people that were there, a lot of the stuff we heard was like, well, you know, a lot of people already paid a lot of money. A lot of people paid like, you know, because they come from a lot of countries too. So they're like, there's a lot of money that was already put forth. And so no, it's like they can't just cancel all of a sudden because, you know, a lot of people already like used a lot of money to get here and do all these other things.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, but it's still just
Yeah, it's like it's just
Crazy.
like no.
You get to talk to Ted Cruz or Greg Abbott?
No, not this time. But I've
Yeah.
I've interviewed Ted Cruz a couple of times already.
I knew you did with Beto once.
Beto too, a few times as well. I this thankfully I didn't actually have to be right at the convention center. I was like at
Oh,
City
okay.
Hall
Yeah.
down the street because there was like so like it was basically people all over town, like having different protests at different parts of the city. City Hall, like the police station, obviously the convention center. So
Yeah.
it was like all over the city.
Well, we didn't mean to make this a political episode, but sometimes it's hard to avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with especially that though, it's just that, and I mean, it was related to sports with the Rays and Yankees
true.
taking time to do that.
I think that is cool that they did that.
Yeah, I do too. So on some crazy news. So the story, new stuff keeps coming out about it because it's so wild. So Tommy Pham signed with the Cincinnati Reds this season, and Jock Peterson, who plays for the Giants, Tommy Pham slapped Peterson before the game on Friday night, I think it was, over some fantasy football stuff.
It wasn't like a either.
Yeah, it was a Will Smith, Chris Rock slap. And like I said, stuff keeps coming out about what happened, why it happened. And so kind of the initial thing was that Pham was upset because he claimed that Peterson was cheating by putting players that are out, that have the out designation, on the IR, and not dropping them whenever they're not designated for IR by their teams. And so I was like, oh shoot, am I ever going to get slapped? Because I do that.
If the system allows it.
All right. I mean, if I need points.
Yeah.
And then Pham was all like, I'm a gambling man. Don't be playing with my money. I'm known in Vegas and all this stuff. And anyway, so I guess it was yesterday, Peterson showed the GIF of the group text. And it was
I didn't know this.
Yeah, so he showed reporters a GIF of a group text that probably made Pham upset, and it was of a Giants player and a Dodgers, or a Giants. There was 3 bodybuilders: a Giants guy, a Padres guy, and a Dodgers guy. Well, Pham played for the Padres, and Peterson's been on the Dodgers and the Giants. And the Padres guy like fell down, I guess, because he couldn't lift the weight as much. And so I saw it as like Peterson's kind of taking a shot at Pham or whatever. Yeah. And so, but anyway, this whole thing's been crazy. It's been kind of fun to listen or to watch because Tommy Pham's he's been 10-ply.
There
this whole time.
It's been a funny little side story. It's ridiculous over some fantasy football. Get out of here. I'm gonna go slap Mauricio now for not shooting his free throw. So if you see me enter his screen and give him a.
See, I was wondering at some point, do we start adding on, or do we change the punishment to something else?
Something worse? Oh, that's
because if Mauricio can't get out to shoot free throws, it's not really his fault.
Oh, that's true.
Well, here's the thing: if I don't shoot him anytime soon, Spencer has got to let me live in his house for a month.
No, what? No.
Yeah.
Only if you take care of Kingsley.
There you go.
Seems like a fair trade-off.
Don't dox my kid. Yeah, maybe we could change it. I can't ask him because he'll probably lie about it. I was gonna say, what's your least favorite food, but I'm not gonna do that.
My least favorite food?
He'll say it's like cheeseburgers or something, and I know that ain't true.
Maybe. No, now to think about it, I'm like, what is my least favorite food?
Speaking of food, I should send you guys a tweet that I saw that had me rolling the other day.
Oh, do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can't make Mauricio eat anything spicy because he kills it all. I don't know how he deals with it because, man, one time you at Buffalo Wild Wings, you got the spiciest one, and it would burn my lips off.
Man, I just don't like the flavor of hot things. It's not the heat that gets me. It's just the flavor.
Really?
See, I'm the opposite. Yeah. I really like the flavor, but I can't handle the heat sometimes.
Anytime something's hot, it seems like it has the same flavor to me.
Huh. Well,
I don't know why.
You might be talking about like buffalo specifically. Buffalo hot.
maybe. No,
Not
I mean
like-
I like spicy foods. It's just it seems like, especially with wings or something like that, once you get a certain level,
Yeah,
it
I
starts
guess I
tasting
get
the
that.
same.
Tastes like spice.
Yeah.
I can't even handle like chile de arbol. I got some of that and put it on some stuff, and I just like I'm out.
What about chipotle?
I can do that, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't-
chile de arbol is probably where I draw a considerable line.
Mm,
And they have it at like Mexican restaurants. Like you can ask for like the extra spicy salsa that they have in the back. And I think it's got chile de arbol in it as well as like habanero and stuff. It's just crazy hot.
it's really good, dude. You should want just once, just like try it, just do like just a little bit. Don't do too much. Do you go to Saxby's or have you been to Saxby's?
I've been there. It's not my favorite, but I mean, I'll go there.
Yeah,
Sure.
you should get like just like a chicken tender or something. But then as for some of the insane sauce,
They have it readily available.
yeah, it's like one of their sauces for their wings. But usually we just get it on the side like a
Is it
dipping
that
thing.
spicy?
It's pretty spicy, dude.
What of all places, Zaxby's is gonna have the spiciest sauce?
Because a lot of places have like sauces, but they're like supposed to be spicy. But
Yeah.
like the Saxby's one, like the insane one's actually like pretty spicy.
Oh wow. Well, I know they got the guy that does the hot ones has the last dab hot sauce, and people say it's pretty brutal.
It's really good, dude. You should try it.
I sent that tweet to you guys. I don't know if you
Oh,
want to look
yeah.
at it now or not,
Same.
but
I mean, I'm probably
it's
gonna
not
look at
appropriate for this. I will say, but
it. It is funny though. It is funny. I like it.
So I guess we're done with the whole Tommy Pham.
Mauricio's on a delay. He had to connect to his DSL.
So we'll move into the NFL, I guess, if we're done with baseball. Colin Kaepernick has tried out for the Raiders, which I know excites Spencer. And
Oh, shut up. Stop. It's all just PR stuff.
yeah. Kaepernick hasn't played for what, 6 years?
It's way too long, yeah.
Yeah. He's 34. They keep throwing him in Madden, even though he hasn't been playing in the league.
Do they really?
Yeah. He's in the newest Madden. Mauricio probably traded for him.
And then traded him back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm still mad about Von Miller. Who thought of this was a good idea for a video game?
This is Andy's favorite story.
It is Madden. It's terrible, so.
Well, I guess that's not even realistic. Who retires in the middle of the season after 2 weeks?
Was it
Mad at
Vontae
the front
Davis?
office.
Mm,
Oh yeah, Vontae Davis did.
He just said
In the middle of a
in the
game.
middle of a game.
Maybe Kaepernick could try out for USFL or fan controlled football. Have you guys watched any of that fan controlled?
I haven't, but I have heard a lot about it.
It's wacky.
yeah, the guy lit up the smoke right after the touchdown.
Yep. Smoked a joint right after he scored. And then I was watching it yesterday because I just figured I'd turn it on, and had a buddy working replay for it. And y'all know who it is. But the teams, I don't
Lucio's
know.
favorite.
I don't know if the fans choose like the jersey colors, but they had a blue team against a blue team. Like neither, like you could have wore white. Like it was so hard to watch. I couldn't do it. Like, what are you doing?
What is this? The NBA?
Also, yeah, right. And also Terrell Owens is playing. So
Yeah, I heard something about Mike Vick playing recently, but I don't know.
no, I think he declined that officially.
Okay.
It would have been fun though.
I heard like he accepted, then he declined, and then I heard something else that maybe he accepted.
Is Manziel
It was
playing?
been confusing. I think
Manziel's
Manziel's
in that
done.
league? Oh, okay. I couldn't remember.
Where do you watch us at?
I think you can watch it on Twitch, but they also have their own app.
Okay. But
You want to talk about another? I was gonna say slap, but this was a bit more than a slap.
well, I was just gonna say, as far as the Kaepernick stuff goes, like I know he was kind of blackballed by the league, but then he kind of did it to himself by not signing with teams, and then
Yeah,
a lot of people kept pointing out to, he threw 16 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in his last year, and I was like, They weren't against good teams.
Yeah.
Like anybody could put that up. And also, what's confusing about the Raiders is they have Nick Mullins, which he's not that great. And then they traded for Stidham.
Serviceable backup.
Yeah, but they
Oh,
traded
they
for
did
Stidham.
trade for Stidham. That's right.
So it's kind of confusing about Kaepernick.
It's not confusing. You know exactly what's happening. They're not going to sign him.
Oh, I know, but yeah,
I don't think he's ever gonna play again.
Not if you've been out of the league for 6 years.
No,
Most
but
people
there's
start questioning you if you're out for 1 or 2.
but there's least competent people backing up in teams right now that they could have been out of the. They've probably been in the league those 6 years he hasn't been, and it hasn't made him any better or any worse. Probably worse.
Yeah, but they also don't come with the media circus and probably the price tag that he does.
No. Well, here's the thing: if you would be willing to agree to like the minimum, like
I mean,
you know,
the Ravens already offered him a generous contract. I said it last time, but he turned it down, and then randomly his wife or girlfriend started calling the organization racist. So, like, you had your chance. Like, you got a nice contract offered, and then you decline it. So, I don't get it.
It's a personal systematic failure. Then
you're all about the failures today.
And then something else, like, imagine if you're Derek Carr or even the Raiders organization thinking about this. Like, as soon as Derek Carr messes up, then people are going to be like, well, let's throw Kaepernick in there.
Yeah.
And
they're going to call for it before he even messes up.
It's not going to be a good time for anybody. So it's all just ridiculous. Probably just. Has there ever been somebody that's been talked about as much as Colin Kaepernick that hasn't been in the league for so many years?
Tim Tebow.
Well,
he always comes up.
That's true, but he went and played baseball for a while and was awful with that.
It's because he has the power of God with him. That's why he comes up.
I knew you'd bring that up.
That's the power of God. So, like, you know, he's always gonna be around. He's good. He's good PR. You know.
Is he?
Yeah. Now, dude, if he could really play football, well, dude, he would be like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, like merge into one person.
Yeah, but he can't, and he can't play
that's
basketball.
The thing, you know. But it's also good, you know.
Baseball.
It's also good because imagine how you would feel like if there's this guy, he looks good, if he could play good, and then he had all this going on for him, you know, you would be like, oh, I hate that guy.
Pants.
You know, but you know, now we know his faults. Like, he can't play football.
Hey,
he can't commentate. He can't do anything.
Yeah, they're like, he can't commentate either. There you go.
Tone it down about 20% there, bud. That's 3.
Yeah,
I might have topped out at
I think that's your max. We'll have a Letterkenny reference counter in the corner.
Okay. Yeah. So the other thing that Spencer referenced, Brendan Langley is former Denver Bronco. I think he was playing for the CFL, Canadian Football League. And there's been video about this, and I don't want to speculate on what started it because I haven't seen the complete video. I saw just the shortened version of where the United Airlines employee slaps him, and then he just decks the dude and puts him on the checkout belt.
Putting it lightly.
Yeah.
That's lights out for dude.
Yeah, knocks this man into the next
it was insane.
Next city. But I've seen video where Langley slaps the guy first, and then they go at it. I don't know what escalated it. So
yeah.
Have you guys seen? Spencer, I know. I sent it to the group, so I know you guys have seen part of it.
I definitely watched it. I think Mauricio might have been busy at the time. Do you remember watching it?
I don't think so.
It's hard to know because there's a ton of crazy airport videos out there because for some reason, anytime anybody's in an airport, tensions are 10 times higher.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. And I guess that was the case here too. I don't know why people get so upset. It's just I don't even know. It's just nothing. It's no reason to assault each other.
Yeah, I don't know. I think last time I was in an airport, someone was going crazy. They weren't like getting physical, but they were just yelling at the people at the gate, and I was just like, "Yeah, what's going on?"
A lot of times too, it's the the people's own fault too. They show up late or
Yeah.
do something that they shouldn't be doing, and
Yeah.
there it is.
I mean, I've been delayed a few times, but I've
Oh,
never
yeah.
had like super bad experiences. In fact, we went to whenever we were flying back home from Haiti. The second time I went, we were delayed, and the airport gave us pizza and whatnot.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy. And then
I'd take a delay for some free pizza.
yeah, and then we got to Atlanta. We were delayed, and they didn't give us anything. So shout out to
Guess it
Haiti.
just depends. Yeah.
Port-au-Prince.
That's pretty awesome. I wasn't a little irritated that they wouldn't let me in the cockpit, but it's whatever, I guess. I'll let it go.
I don't know. I don't know
Just
if I
wanted
should
to-
respond to that,
Just wanted to see what it looked like.
especially with Mauricio referencing 9/11 earlier.
Oh, good point.
When I was younger, that was like I remember whenever we would go on a flight, it would be like the most normal thing. Like they would see a little kid,
That's what
or
I'm saying.
even in
yeah.
adults, and they would see us and they'd be like, "Oh, do you wanna, while everybody was still boarding, like, hey, do you wanna go take a look?" And we're like,
Yes.
"Yeah." And
See, they kind of did that with me, but they didn't let me see the cockpit. That was what I was referring to when I was like 10 or 11. They should have let me see it, but they did give me the little wings.
oh yeah, dude, they would give you the little clip on right here.
Mm-hmm. You got
Or-
some?
Yeah, we have some, or they would give us a little like little metal plane.
Yeah,
Model.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Different times, I'm telling you.
Yep.
I didn't get to fly until I was 25, so I didn't get any wings.
What?
Unfortunately, we missed the era where people could smoke on airplanes, so that would be a trip.
I would have hated that.
I
so
remember
much.
that. I remember that a lot. There was
But
like
we did at least get to experience smoking and non-smoking sections in restaurants.
Yeah.
I assume you guys did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
remember
wild that we even had that.
I know, isn't it insane?
Yeah.
Like the smoke just stays over there.
That's these things are. Remember when you used to fly, you would get a meal every time.
Oh yeah, well you still do.
Yeah,
if
we
it's
got a meal
over
to
a
Hong
certain-
Kong.
Yeah, if
But
it's
you
over
gotta-
a certain
awful.
time.
You gotta pay now, no?
No,
We didn't on
not
Hong
if it's
Kong.
over a certain amount of hours.
So remember back then, like even like a 2-hour flight, you would get a free meal.
No, they give you cookies or pretzels now. For
Yeah,
those.
at best, if
They
you're
just bring
lucky.
out something on a plate that looks like I don't know. Somebody just took a brown Betty on a saucer and they just bring it to you. It's not good food.
It's awful. I wouldn't eat. I don't want to eat on a plane again.
So it was the best food ever.
Don't drink on
No.
a plane either, because you don't realize how much you've drank until you land and have to walk on land. Don't do that. I'd advise against it. First class is dope though.
Yeah.
I haven't done that.
It depends. So I've done it a few times. I did it for work a few times, and then we did it one trip. I think for Cancun we did it, and each one was just like it was first class, but it was called like business class. Pretty much, you just get a little bit of extra leg room and free drinks. But the time that was really awesome was that trip. We were coming back from Cancun to Dallas. And for some reason, the plane was just super dope. And they had it was sectioned off. So you walk in and they're like, all right, regular people to the right, first class people to the left. and it didn't cost hardly anything to upgrade is why we did it. And so we were like, all right, whatever. So we went to the left and they had these little pods. Each one had a pod and you had a divider with your partner on the other side. And the seat laid all the way back and you had the screen and everything and hot blanket. It was sick. I didn't want to leave.
I wish I had that for Hong Kong. I had a normal seat for 18 hours.
Oh, no way.
Dude, were you in those was it the 3-3-3 seating arrangement for the coach?
I think it was 3-4-3.
Oh,
Jeez, what a
dude,
plane.
I've seen those. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
I've seen the reviews on YouTube and stuff, and the guy's he flies first class, but he reviews the whole seating sections, and he goes to the coach, and I see those people in the 3-4-3, and I'm like, bro, if you're in the middle seat on the 4th row in the middle.
That's what I was thinking.
And now I'm imagining Andy there, in the coach, those 4-3-4, and did you at least have the screen on your seat?
With the TV?
Yeah, the little TV
Probably
screen.
Yeah, I did. But so on the way
Jesus, dude.
on the way there, I had an aisle seat, so I got to get up and walk around. But on the way back,
nice.
I sat by the window, and then Katrina sat by me, and then some random dude sat in the
Dial.
end in the aisle, and so he fell asleep, and I can't sleep on planes, so I was just sitting there the whole time, like,
yeah.
and
So
then my legs were killing me, and I'm sitting here like,
Mhm.
I need to move.
So
It was awful.
you were awake for 18 hours?
Yeah,
Bro,
I
what
forget
the
that it was
heck?
18 hours.
Yeah,
I was trying to sleep.
I was trying to sleep, and I couldn't. It was
You
awful.
didn't have like drugs or anything?
No,
I couldn't do that. Like,
No, that's too long. That's way too long.
I was miserable.
bro, I sometimes again I see those videos. I'm like, who flies coach on those 18 hours? You know?
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, now I actually know somebody. I'm like, man,
It wasn't my
'Cause
choice. Trust me.
Have you ever seen the Soul Plane?
yeah.
No.
they give a really good experience about Coach on there. I'm
Yeah.
surprised Mauricio's seen it. It's a good movie.
Dude, I've seen the movie like a million times.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I think I was still in California when it came out, and we went to see it in the theater.
Yeah.
Remember in the Soul Plane, they had like all the way at the back of the plane, they had a standing section.
That's what
Imagine standing for 18 hours.
Dude.
Man, I there's no way I could do any flight for 18 hours. I don't even think like that first class experience with the pod. I don't even know if that would cut it. 18 hours. That's so long.
I could do it, dude. I think the farthest one I've done is like 6 hours, maybe 7 hours.
Yeah, I think that's me too.
When I went from like Mexico to Canada.
No, I was gonna say Costa Rica may have only been like 4 or 5.
So, but no, so I flew coach then. It was like, I want to say it was like a 7 hour flight, maybe.
Yeah.
But then again, there was like we were able to get up, and they had like a stretching section in the back of the plane. You could walk around.
Really?
Yeah, you
That's
can walk
cool.
around and like stretch because it was a long flight,
That's
But 18
fancy.
hours, bro. Like,
Andy, did you have a stretching section?
I don't know. I couldn't get up.
So you didn't get up at all?
I got up a couple times, but I think I sat in the seat for most of it.
Was there no empty seats like in the back of the plane, like on coach, where you could just like kind of sit there for a bit?
It was packed. The whole plane was packed.
Oh shoot, bro!
I would have nightmares about that. That literally sounds like my worst nightmare.
Yeah, it
sounds
awful. And I don't know if it was that flight from where did we fly? Oh, flew out of Chicago. No, it wasn't that flight. Yeah, it was. No, I don't remember. There was one flight where we sat. It was a little 2-2 plane, and so Katrina and I sat at the very back, and then this one woman had a seat by herself over here, and I don't know what was going on, but you know how like they go around with the drinks and they pour out like the little cups. This woman right next to us, she was like, "Can I have the whole can?" And I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, I don't know why it blew my mind so much, but I was just like, "What in the world?"
A whole can.
She was like, "Can I have a whole can?" And I'm sitting here like, I think she was like, "I already went to the bathroom and I already drank another whole can." I'm sitting here like, "You want a whole can of Coke?"
Lady, you have to use the cups.
That's probably what I was thinking. Like,
That's so funny.
I remember back in the day when they would give you a drink, they would give you the whole can and then the little cup.
They still do.
Dude, bro, every time I fly now, they just pour you a little bit on the cup and that's it. That's all you get.
Not if you order a beer. I want the whole can because.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, because you're paying for it, bro. You're paying.
I don't think I've ever had like a soda on a plane or anything.
Bro, every time,
take the water.
It's definitely changed because back in the day you could have they would just give you the can and the cup and then bam, there you go. But now
they barely even give you peanuts now.
Now they open the can, they pour you a little bit. They don't even give you a full cup. They just pour a little bit and then that's it.
Yep.
Different times, I'm telling you.
So this was the airplane episode of
How did it even start? Like, who brought up the plane? Like,
because of the guy getting smacked around.
Oh,
I don't even know that we talked much about that. The guy got suspended indefinitely.
Side story. The guy got suspended.
Like 10 minutes
indefinitely.
later.
I thought it was 3 games.
No, that was Tommy Pham.
Oh.
Going back to that, he got fined like $111,000. So he played with his own money there like an idiot.
Yeah, he could have just kept his money and then it would have been pretty much resolved. But he wouldn't have sent the message.
Yeah, we didn't even get the Champions League.
Man, well,
that wasn't.
Real Madrid won. It was a pretty boring game, to be honest.
Fans got pepper sprayed before the game, or before the match.
UEFA messed it up. Normal stuff.
Yeah.
Now I feel like there's more stories that you guys have in your life that are like really interesting, but like I've never heard before brought up or mentioned. Nothing.
That's a good point. Yeah, because I don't remember ever hearing about.
Yeah, like I know
Andy's
Andy had
flight
gone to these places,
experience.
but like he failed to mention the fact that he's sitting there for 18 hours. Like what?
Yeah,
It's so bad.
I
Yeah.
needed to hear that because that was amazing.
Yeah.
I'll tell
You're a better
another quick
man
one.
than me. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So on our way back from our honeymoon, like, man, if there was ever a time for me to get upset in an airline, it was that time. Katrina and I came back from our honeymoon, and we didn't have seats together, and so we went up there. It was like, hey, can we sit together? And like, no, something like this. And I'm sitting
We're gonna
there
have to do another one. We're gonna have to do another one because I need to hear this and I have something to add to it.
Okay, I'll go ahead and stop this.
Okay.
See you, people.
I'll see you on the next one.
Okay.
All right, hit us with it.
Yeah, so I don't even remember what airline we were flying, but we came back through Houston and from Cancun, and so they our flights weren't together for some reason. I'm sitting here like, that's really weird.
Like two separate planes?
No, they were the same plane.
Oh, just two different seats.
Our seats weren't together. And so I was like, so we go up there, can we get these seats changed to where we can sit together? No, we don't have room for, or no, they said, we'll see what we can do. And so we sat down forever waiting. And then they're like, they call us up and they're like, yeah, we can't do anything. I was like, well, that sucks. And so I think that was from Cancun to Houston. I don't remember, but we didn't get to sit by each other at all the whole way home from Cancun. Jeez. It made me so upset. So
nearly identical story, because same thing happened with my wife and me. I think it was either from Cancun to Dallas or from Dallas to Little Rock. But we didn't have seats in the same spot either. And we asked and they said no. So we're on the plane and I'm not really pressing it. I'm like, we're done with our vacation. I think it was the short one because I think I wasn't too worried about it. It was like a really short flight. So I was like, yeah, we'll deal with it. So I'm sitting by a random person. Bria's sitting by two random people. And I'm not really talking too much. And I guess Bria's talking to her people because she says they get to talking and they're like, so what are you here? And she goes, we're here for my honeymoon. And they said, oh yeah, well, where's your husband? And she goes, oh, he's sitting up there, and like give her like the sad eyes. And these ladies that she was talking to were clearly sick of each other from their vacation. Like you could tell they hated each other. They're like, we've had enough. And they're like, oh, I'll switch with them, blah, blah, blah. So it ended up working out. So next time that happens, you just gotta play the pity card.
Well, I didn't add this in, but I think, and I don't mean this as offensive, but I was next to an Asian family and they had gotten some like those cup of noodles or whatever that you can find in stores, and they asked for the hot water, and so they poured it in, and it just smelled like.
You can do that?
I guess they did. It just smelled like nasty noodles in there.
Oh, I'm gonna bring all kinds of hot noodles on the plane next time. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. What do you have, Mo?
Let's see. One time we were flying back from California to Mexico when I was younger. Then they overbooked the flight. So my grandma and my dad went. They got to stay on the flight. And my dad went when my grandma, cause she was like, older. But then, so me and my mom and my brother had to stay in the airport for like 7 hours, waiting for the next flight to Mexico on Delta instead of Aeromexico. So I remember vividly spending 7 hours at the airport when I was like 5.
Ugh.
Wow. We did get free popcorn from one of the stores there. They took pity on us. They saw us sitting there for like 7 hours. But it was nice because then at Delta, like they upgraded us and they gave us like a bunch of fancy stuff and stuff.
That's good.
And then the last time I flew in December this year when we went to California for my Abby's friend's wedding, it was like the worst flight I ever had.
Really?
Yeah, like I can vividly remember. 'Cause, I've been flying since I was like 3 and 4.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, there was just like we had to make a layover in Las Vegas. But here's the thing: they were having a really bad like windstorm out there in Vegas because it's like desert, so they happen to have
Yeah.
this a lot. So you had that, but then when you fly into Vegas, you have to fly in. The airport's like right below a mountain range.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're flying in over a mountain range, it also causes turbulence.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the turbulence from flying in over the mountains, and then the windstorm. And you can ask Gabby like when we landed in Vegas.
I didn't know you meant
Dude.
like physically the worst experience.
Oh
Yeah.
no, yeah, like the like actual like I'm like, oh my god, I'm fearing for my life
Oh my gosh.
because
Forget that.
it was shaking so bad, and then like
Dude.
it would go. It actually went up and down a few times where like people
Mhm.
got like that weren't like buckled in like
Oh
tight enough.
no.
You could see them like get up a little bit off their seat because like their seatbelt kind of went up
You
and
see
then down.
service dogs flying in the air.
Yeah, actually, like they have a fire extinguisher like locked to one of the walls in the plane. It actually came off and like rolled down the aisle,
Wow.
and it
I
was
will
like,
say I will say that the Vegas airport is pretty wild. Like they want you to lose your money like right when you're in the airport because there's slot machines everywhere already.
oh, I wish I could have gotten off. It was like one of those where like it was you land, people get off and people get back on.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing. So like when we left, it was the same deal. It was like you were like
Yeah.
up, down to the side, and then it kind of dips.
Mhm.
But I mean, we knew what was going on because we landed there. But
Yeah.
then the people that got on the plane, they had no idea what had happened. So they got caught off guard, and like there were some like really older ladies that got on, and like they were like screaming their head off when we were taking off.
Screaming, giving Hail Marys, doing all that.
Dude, it was like I don't think I've gotten on a plane since then. Cause I'm still like,
Speaking of like travel stuff, I've been playing this and it's not like a console game or anything. I've been playing this new game. It's you can just do it online on your computer, on your phone, or whatever. It's called GeoGuessr. Have you ever heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun. They just Mauricio, if you haven't heard of it, they just drop you in a random place around the world, like Google Street View,
mhm.
and you look around and you have to find out where you're at and get as close as possible.
They have
It's fun.
sports stadiums that you can do it with too.
Yeah, they got all kinds of maps.
Mm-hmm.
You can even like create your own. So we could create like a map that's like where Mauricio's been or where Andy's been.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called?
GeoGuessr.
GeoGuessr.
But
Yeah.
there's no E at the end.
Yeah, a lot of people stream it on Twitch too. That's how I got into it. Super fun.
Yeah.
Just want to plug that because I need some people to play with. All right. Well, y'all have made me hungry enough, and this is. I guess we've abandoned all sports. We're
I probably
talking-
won't keep these stories in because it's just.
You don't have to. It doesn't matter.
I mean, maybe the airport stories, but not this.
That's still super funny. I still it blows my mind that that Hong Kong 18-hour story.
Awful, dude. Okay, I don't know if I've explained this to you guys or not, but so you know how the common joke is that Asian people are short, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was like, whatever,
Yeah.
So we get over there, and the room. I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but the room I'm staying in during the week is upstairs, and so I walk up the stairs to get to my room, carrying my stuff, and I just smacked the crap out of my head. It hurts so bad, and I'm sitting here like, what's going on? Well, the ceiling's lower than what I would have ever expected, and so I get in my room, and I'm having to stand like this, which
No way.
I'm 5'11", whatever, and so the ceiling's short in my room, and then there's a little bathroom off to the side of my room, which it's probably about half my height. So anytime I had to go to the bathroom, I had to duck down super far to get to it.
No, you're lying.
No, I'm not. I have a couple of pictures about this.
Just the door or the entire ceiling in the bathroom?
No, the little walkway was like blocked off.
Oh,
halfway
what?
blocked off. It was insane. I have never experienced anything like that.
That's crazy.
I may have taken those pictures off my phone, but
I'd be mad.
I'll have to send them to you guys because it was insane.
You're sleeping in like a cave.
Oh, it got super cold, which is what I like, but
Oh, that's good.
jet lag was awful.
Oh yeah, I did mean to ask about that because I've never experienced any kind of like jet lag or anything. It's like super hard to get used to.
Yeah,
Well, probably because you stayed up for 18 hours.
well, see, I would have thought I would have been exhausted. And then
yeah.
we go to bed and it's like they're 13 hours ahead there.
Mhm.
So we go to bed and I'm sitting here like wide awake for a little bit. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And so I'm passed out. I'm watching movies and whatnot until I fall asleep because I just couldn't do it.
You got to invest in some drugs.
I guess so.
Put you to sleep.
Yeah.
We've lost Mauricio.
Yeah. He said I'm done.
I'm still confused as to like how he was able to not sleep that long. Cause like for me, if I don't sleep like at least 5 hours or more, I'm like, like my head hurts. I'm like, I'm lost. I think so. It's a weakness, bro. Cause like I've become dependent on sleeping a lot. That if I don't sleep even like my minimum, like it throws off my whole.
That's exactly how I was before I had a kid, and now it's just you kind of just take what you can get.
And that sounds like my brother, but my brother, even before he had a kid, he didn't really sleep that much. But even now, he's
I wish I was like that because I would have been more used to it.
He like even before he had a kid, he would sleep, a few hours, and then he would get up early for work because he would stay out late with friends or stuff.
Oh yeah,
or work, and then he'd come home, sleep for a little bit, and he'd be up early because like he had to go back to work or something else, right? So he's always been on a run like. And so when he had a kid, it's like.
But he probably adjusted a little better then.
Even nowadays, like his kid, like the kid goes to daycare now.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's not there with him anymore. So he just he has like time, where he actually rests and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's still getting up early. Even on his like time on his weekends and stuff, he still gets up early and does all this stuff and on my weekends, I'm like, I'm not waking up till like noon or 1. So,
jeez, are you serious?
Yeah, bro. I mean, before when I was working night side, I would sleep in like I would have to be at work at 1:30. I would wake up at 11 or noon.
I sent you guys some pictures to show. Sorry.
That's
what I was talking about.
How's your new daycare going?
It's good.
That's good. Ah, look, that's crazy. No way.
Yeah. It was crazy. So insane.
Oh, I'd hold it. I wouldn't go to the bathroom.
That's the bathroom?
Yeah, there's a bathroom off to the right in there.
But you had to comprehend it.
You had to duck under to go.
So that seems like the most unnecessary wall, though.
Yeah, it was.
Are those stairs?
No, that's like a shelf or something.
Oh, it looks like a little step ladder.
No, I don't know what that was. I don't remember. But yeah, I was just like, this is stupid.
It almost feels like claustrophobic.
Yeah. So you get off an 18-hour cramp flight, and then you're like, stretch my legs, go to my room, and it's a hobbit hole that you have to pee in.
Oh man!
I will say Hong Kong was pretty dope, but
that's good. Except for that part, I guess.
Yeah, that was kind of annoying. But
I've always wanted to go to Japan, but obviously
we were supposed to go to Japan, but it didn't work out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But we were supposed to go to Hiroshima.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
But, yeah, it didn't work out. So it's whatever.
Was this before or after the pandemic stuff?
This was 2019.
Man.
So it was before.
Andy's the one that brought it to America, actually.
Right? Like that's not that I think about like everything that I was planning on doing before like 2020. I was like, I'm gonna do this, but then stuff came up and it stopped me from doing that stuff.
Yep.
And then like 2020 came and it was like out of nowhere, it just like whoa, like.
Yeah, you can blame Andy for that one.
It was like, if you think about it, there was a lot of people that were in those areas in, like, they were saying since October, November, when they think that's
Oh
around when it
yeah,
first started. Obviously, they didn't know what was happening, and then they kind of went back to where they were from, and that's how, like, before it actually became like, worldwide in like February, March, it was kind of spreading there. But obviously, those people didn't know.
yeah. It does make you wonder, like, how long ago it actually was.
Yeah, because there was when it first got to Houston, it was like those teachers that got back from Rice University. They got back from like a work trip. They had done like some research in Egypt,
Oh, really? Okay.
and they got sick when they got back, but they had been in Egypt at that time, and at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So you're like, man, like you're really thinking about like how far back and all that stuff. But then I also think about like everything I missed out on that I probably should have done before,
Yeah.
like 2019. But yeah, then 2019. Oh, I went to California. That was the last thing I did in
When was
2019.
that? Oh, 20. Wait,
October.
you haven't gone back since? Oh, you
Uh,
did. You did for
just for
Abby.
that wedding,
Yeah.
yeah, and but that was like way after, This is crazy.
All right, somebody end this because I gotta go tend to a kid. But it was great catching up with you guys.
Yeah, dude. You should get a live-in nanny, so like you don't have to worry about that stuff.
Hey, we've talked about it. We can't afford it, obviously, but how nice would it be?
You could. You just have to look the right place.
I knew you were gonna tell me something.
No, I mean, I'm saying because there's a lot of like Hispanic like ladies that
knew
would
you were
be
gonna go
like
there.
willing to do it, and you don't really have to spend that much.
Would they though? I don't think, because they would have to like leave their family. They'd have to live here, and we don't have like a situation like that here because we don't have like a separate house.
How many rooms do you have in your house? 3, 4. That's more than most people have right there.
No,
or that place where you're at right there
with us. Like I can't walk around naked and stuff.
Okay, well, somebody that can be at your house for like 8 to 10 hours.
That might be better, yeah.
Because like, if you
but
think
then
about,
they're raising my kid, and I'm not raising my kid.
Yeah, but like
You
it's
learn
not.
another language though.
Yeah, like once they're older, the more critical years, and then you can step
The
in.
more because this isn't the more critical years.
Well, right now they're not gonna remember a lot of what's going on. He's not. I don't think he's gonna remember this trip to Florida.
Oh, he's definitely not.
Yeah, I didn't remember my trip to La Paz when I was like 2.
You went to La Paz?
My dad took us when I was like
cool.
2.
That's
from my
dope.
grandma. So, but I don't remember. I just see the pictures.
Yeah. Oh, also, I will say that on the way back from Florida, he didn't cry once, and he didn't take a nap either. He was just chill. Like I was like, well, who is this kid? He's actually being funny. Like he was delirious, I think, but it was nice.
What's
the way there? The way there was ass though, because like he cried so hard at one point that he threw up.
Oh
like,
my God.
It was rough.
Dude. I hate when Hezekiah does that.
Yeah.
They overexert themselves,
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask something, but can't remember.
About Florida, because you're thinking about taking a trip with Hezekiah?
No, not that far yet. Oh, is Kingsley still, is he talking like clearly, or is he babbling still?
When you say babbling, like what do you mean? Like, is he saying, hey Dad, I want some milk? No,
but like so Hezekiah will say words here and there, but most of it is still like the
he's got a lot of words down. He's not forming like full sentences or anything yet. But yeah, I don't think from what they told us, it was like 5. I don't remember, what did they say? Like 1 word by 1-year-old, and then like 20 words by 2 years old, or something like that. I can't, or maybe 50. I can't remember what it is. We've counted how many words he's got. And it's plenty. But yeah, right now he's gotten to the stage, and it started on the trip back from Florida. We've gotten to the phase where he won't shut up. He has not stopped talking since we got back. Like not a single second goes by. Just
yeah.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
And he's about to be 3?
No, 2.
He's 2, or he's about to be 2?
About to be 2.
When?
That's none of
August?
your business.
No,
It's
July,
June.
right?
It's June. July. Yeah.
July. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought he was gonna be 3 already.
No, heck no.
And Hezekiah is only 1, right? He's going like
Yeah.
towards 2.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he'll be
1 and 3.
15 months.
Oh, fifth.
soon.
That's okay.
Man,
Longer than I
I
thought.
thought I thought your kids were older because my
No.
brother's kid's about to turn 1 already
Wait, really?
in August. Yeah,
Oh, shoot. That seems kind of crazy.
right. I thought I thought like your kid was about to be 3 already.
Wow, your brother's living on a different timeline than us.
Jeez,
Time moves different for him. That's
I thought-
pretty wild.
So they're gonna be about the same age. All like they're gonna be in the same group. They could
No,
they could hang out.
no. George's kid's gonna catch up and pass our kid and be older than our kids.
He's gonna move up like like how have you seen those Hispanic kids when they're like 10 and they already have a mustache?
Yes, and armpit hair.
Yeah, dude.
It drives me crazy sometimes because I remember
Dude.
being in like middle school or something, and still I don't have like a ton of armpit hair, and I still can't grow a proper mustache. But here I am. I got a friend that in like the 2nd grade, he's got a full beard and armpit hair, and I'm like, what is happening?
So
Of course, now he's like 4 foot tall, but
that's true. I'll be like, probably your kids are gonna be older, but then my brother's kid's probably gonna look like he's 30 when he's like 20.
exactly. He's gonna
something
come
like
out the house in a wife beater, telling people to get off his lawn, and asking, "Where's my beer?"
And yeah. Well, yeah, they're gonna be in the same group of, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll probably wait till like another 10 years.
We'll get together and we'll form a basketball team.
Yeah, dude. Football team.
No thanks.
You don't want them to play football?
No, I don't.
No? What? I want them to be in the I want to be in the green room at the draft, at the NFL draft.
I will be at the NBA draft.
At the thing.
Or MLB. Not that draft is like that, but
They do it at
They have
Hooters.
people at the MLB draft.
oh, do they?
Yeah, they're not in a green room or anything. They're kind of out in the crowd. It's
I
kind
don't
of
guess I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me really go take care of my kid now.
See ya.